In the bottom left, it's your red Terran. It's Bunny. I know. I'm just, you know. Modern problems require modern solutions. That's just how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on into it. So yeah, I did the spiel earlier before we started, but pretty much I did talk a little bit about Bunny and Showtime because I think they are players that you can talk about quite a bit. They have quite storied careers. They have been playing for a very, very long time. Showtime especially has been just consistently a super good Protoss in Europe. He's kind of been the, like, he's kind of just been the level that other Protoss want to reach. You know, you see, you know, players like MacPax or MaxPax who are now popping up and all of that. You know, but the goalpost is kind of Showtime. He's been consistently good in Europe. He's been able to beat top level players like Cyril. He's been able to beat Rainers and all that. You know, he's been able to beat Hero Marine, all those players who are now also, you know, really getting good. And I think the European scene is generally catching up to the North or the South Korean scene. Not North Korean. The North Korean scene is completely different. But it has been catching up. You know, that gap has been slowly closing and everything, and it's been very much getting closer and closer, which has been great for especially for, you know, people who are watching. You know, for us people who are enjoying StarCraft 2, it's been absolutely wonderful. Another thing though that I wanted to mention about Bunny, I said this earlier, I love Bunny. Bunny's great. Bunny's just like my favorite player. And it's mostly because Bunny has had he's been the same where he's been playing for a long time, but he's just never really reached the level of the other top Terrans. He didn't reach, you know, he's never been one that's been mentioned alongside your Mars, your Innovation, your Beyonds. He just hasn't been able to reach that level, and a lot of it was because he didn't really have a play style that felt, you know, like it was just Bunny's. It always felt like he was trying to do stuff that other Terrans were doing, but just not as good. But he recently has been performing extremely well. He's really been starting to pull off some great stuff. He's been doing some really, really good plays and getting some very good results, and it's been absolutely wonderful to see, and I've really enjoyed it, especially because Bunny's just handsome. Bunny's great. So I am really excited to see how he does here against Showtime. Again, Showtime, a very standard player, but has been mixing in some stuff as of recently. Right now, though, just as standard as you get. Does have the Twilight Council coming down, has all of the, you know, all of the defense in place, and yeah, Robo Facility, pretty standard opening here. This is nothing that you know, wouldn't expect out of Showtime. On the other side, Bunny, again, Barracks, Gas, Reaper, went into his expansion, got up his factory, is on 2 gas now with the starport coming down, going into a single Hellion with Widow Mines. So I imagine he might eventually swap over onto the reactor with the factory to try and get 3 Hellions there and do some poking. But as it is now, going to go for, probably going to get, I think he'll get 2 Widow Mines out with his drop. A few Marines, going to send that into the main. And just trying to get a little bit of poke, a little bit of harass, see if he can get some worker kills. Which is always, you know, always a little plus. Poking in here, gets walled off. Oh, nice grenade though. Bunny going to get on in, going to get a full scout, going to see what he can see, and he does also see the blink, sees the extra gateway, and that's a pretty big scout for him. Just splits it up, causing a little bit more annoyance here for Showtime to try and deal with. And yeah, that's a huge scout for Bunny. I mean, sees absolutely everything, sees the blink, sees the gateways, and even gets out with the Hellion. Good play there. Meanwhile, on the other side, you do have the drop going across the map. Does just have the 2 Widow Mines. Opted not to send any Marines with it, and I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm just going to see if he can get some Widow Mine damage. Try and push out perhaps when the Stalkers do, although that is a Robo Bay coming down. So Showtime here. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. Trying to get very defensive here. Is this? No, it's not Disruptor drop. Yeah, this should just be Colossus into a, yeah, 4th base into Colossus. Very, very standard. This is absolutely the macro you expect. Widow Mines coming in are going to burrow. Don't get sniped down. But some burrow micro. And the other one, yeah, it's not actually going to be able to even get out. Showtime. Just keeping that in here. And very, very good defense so far. Does he even lose a probe there? Did he? Okay, he lost a probe. I was going to say, if he didn't even lose a probe there, that would have been absolutely horrendous for Bunny. But no. A single probe goes down. It's a very, very good hold, and now you have the Stim and Combat Shield, so a very standard opener. This is as standard gets. It's your Widowmine drop. You then get the follow-up. You're going to get out, at least you're going to try and get out 4 Widowmines and 4 Medivacs by 645 with your stim and combat shields with your +1 off of this 2 gas, and then you're going to try and hit that timing attack. Usually, you can get this timing attack out when there is a second Colossus popping. The second Colossus should be coming out as you hit, so I don't know. It's not a push that I necessarily like into Colossus openers, just because your bio isn't going to be the strongest. But if you get some good Widowmine hits, if you can get on top of the Colossus, you can make this work. Although Bunny is just going to opt for the drop off of it, and I don't think I necessarily even mind that. I think a drop's fine, just going for a double drop, loading that up. Again, he's trying to be very aggressive here, so he scouts the third, sees the Colossus, gonna send out a double drop, and you just have SHOWTIME here playing defensive, getting up his third base. And I don't actually know if SHOWTIME has scouted out too much. He has an observer here, which has seen, it's just seen the 2 racks. It doesn't know if there's doesn't know if there's third base, but he doesn't need to know if there's third base because he sees the push coming out now. Sees the base, sees the Marines. Observer does get sniped. He doesn't know about this double drop though. Observer scouts it. There should be warp-ins of Stalkers. There's not enough there, though. That's only 3. Drop coming in. He's going to at least get a few kills here. A nice snipe on the medevac means that not all of it gets unloaded. Shield battery overcharge. He's going to keep these alive for a little bit longer as the probes are trying to get focused down, but the shield battery is so good. Oh my god. Doesn't even have his full army there. SHOWTIME going to clean it up, but you do have the armory finished. There are cloaked Widowmines now trying to get some damage done, and this frontal push is just not big enough to try and push through 2 Colossus. A great hold by SHOWTIME. He's going to have to try and clean up these extra Widowmines, brings over the Observer, and yeah, that was just an absolutely wonderful hold. Third base is going to be finishing up for Bunny fairly soon. And from here, this is really usually going to just transition into a macro game. I mean, you're going to have the Vikings coming out. You're going to have additional barracks. And Bunny's, of course, going to try and get his +2/2 started reasonably soon. It's not going to be especially quick. Oh my god, Bunny. Bunny! What? No! What are you doing? Oh, the madman! Just drops it in, finds his way into the main, gets the burrow. He's going to try and shut down all of these gateways. What a power move by Bunny. Widowmine's going to soak up a few hits. We're going to try and hit on the Zealots. The Colossus coming in. The Stalkers, there's not a lot, but now that the Colossus is there, the Warpin's coming in. This drop can't get much more damage done. The pickup. And yeah. Bunny, Bunny pulls out the YOLO drop. You absolutely love it. Sometimes he makes those plays where you question his sanity. But it does end up doing some decent damage. He gets a few snipes, forces out a lot of warpins, and he is just moving this army around. He's making sure that SHOWTIME doesn't feel comfortable, you know, doesn't feel comfortable taking this fourth. And that's absolutely a great position for him because in the meantime, he's still getting up his third base. He's still fully saturating that. He's getting up his ghosts. He's still producing Vikings, and he's soon going to get to that magic number of 6, which I believe can 2-shot a Colossus. Stims in, just going to get a few probes, and then probably just stim out, yeah. Bunny just trying to be very, very mobile with this bio, which he absolutely can do. Ooh, doesn't see the warp prism. SHOWTIME just going to try and sneak that out, but as it is right now, Bunny in a very, very good spot. He's already got ghost production before the first High Templar are really even out, and they're just now warping in. They don't have a storm. These are in for Archons. So absolutely just a good amount of tech here for Bunny. He's in a great spot. He's keeping SHOWTIME busy right now with this small little army, just poking around the third base, you know, threatening that drop, and oh, this is gonna get souted. Oh no! Oh, SHOWTIME! Oh, that's such a bad feeling. Oh, and it gets sniped. Warp Prism goes down. The Vikings just brought in. Did Bunny know that it was there? I have to imagine he knew that the Warp Prism was there, because he just brings his Vikings over, gets the snipe, and now this is a massive army. I mean, this is what, 8 Vikings here for Bunny? This is just, I mean, this army kills Colossus. SHOWTIME, he only has 3. He's just now building disruptors. He's really not in the best of spots, just army-wise. He's down like 30 army supply. Bunny's just gonna come in, land some EMPs, gonna have a few more for the follow-up. Misses the Archons, though. The Super Battery trying to keep the Colossus alive. Some force fields in the back. The Colossus, though, are falling to the Vikings. The army supply is getting more and more out of control. The Bio comes in. Focus fire on the Disruptor. The force fields, not enough. The landed Vikings, the Blinks back. More Zealots being warped in. SHOWTIME just trying desperately to hold, but I just don't think he has enough. I think he just got too far behind. As more bio stims in, Stalkers aren't going to do good. There are so many Marauders here for Bunny. More Vikings coming in and landing, as now the Zealots trying to stim in, and this army might just get cleaned up, but the drop micro, one Viking, gets picked up. Another Disruptor is out, but its shot is wasted. Bunny's going to keep going with this. He's going all out. He wants to win the game right here. Zealots, again, just absorbing some damage. This one Disruptor is so important for SHOWTIME. As more reinforcements find their way in. Again, Zealots getting eliminated. Bunny dropping just to try and keep these units alive. And now, I mean, now with how it is, these Marauders do just beat Stalkers. These Marauders do just beat Disruptors, and Marines are coming in. More Widow Mines being landed. They will just get eliminated. A second Disruptor in position now, as more Stalkers getting cut down. 2 Zealots die to SHOWTIME's own Disruptor Ball. Another one gonna go out. Gonna get a huge chunk of bio. But I don't know if it's enough. There's more Terran streaming across the map. It is just constantly being rallied across. The Zealots are warping in. It's not enough. Everything is falling. SHOWTIME only has Disruptors, and the splits are too good when that is all that you have to worry about. The continued pressure. Bunny loses another big chunk of units, though. SHOWTIME holding on for his life. Gets a Disruptor snipe. There's only one Stalker left. The army has eventually whittled down to nothing, and this should be the win for Bunny. The death push coming through, scans in, sees the Disruptor. The third base is going to go down. GG is called. Bunny gets the win. What a push there at the end. Oh my god. I love that. I love that so, so much. As we don't have the end games down because it is a replay. But wow. That was really well played. I don't think there's too much to say other than that. Bunny just... God, kills that. I love seeing that play from Bunny. You know, I was a bit skeptical of the Doom Drop at first, but hey, it works out. You know, all that Bunny is trying to do is he's trying to say to SHOWTIME, I'm not going to let you feel comfortable just taking a 4th. You're going to stay on 3 bases. You're not going to be comfortable, and you're going to have to constantly be making army and warping in units that I can pick off and then get out. The Doom Drop works. He gets a bunch of kills. So, so good, and he just keeps SHOWTIME behind. Behind that, he's taking his 3rd. He's getting a 4th up. He has Ghosts. He has his 1-1 finishing, starting his +2 attack. Such good play from Bunny, and he's going to take the 1-0 lead in the series. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the next one. But yeah, that was a really good game. SHOWTIME there. Again, I do like the Colossus opener against that push from Bunny. I do like the Colossus into it, but he did stop at 3 Colossus, which is fine. I think it's absolutely fine to stop at 3 Colossus. I don't think that's an issue at all, as I hope that I switched over to the right screen. I should have, right? Yeah, I think I did. Who knows? I'll see on stream. With that being said, though, let's get on into the next game. Ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom right, it's your Red Terran. Up 1-0 in the series. His name is Bunny. Played an absolutely amazing game 1. Absolutely loved it. And in the top left, he's your blue Protoss. He is the Wall. He's from Europe, and his name is SHOWTIME. So yeah, I didn't mind that opener from SHOWTIME. I really like Colossus into that push. You have 2 Colossus out for sure by the time it's cut, by the time it hits, and you have a 3rd on the way. It's fairly easy to defend it even. The issue just came that Bunny is just too crazy, and SHOWTIME didn't expect the Doom Drop into the main. His Observer was out of position because, mind you, earlier he had to actually pull it back to deal with the Widow Mines. So it was still just sitting in the dead space. He had no vision on Bunny's army, because if he is in position there, if he has his 13 Stalkers just at his main, he can actually blink on top of the medevacs, pick a few off before they even land, and then suddenly it's a lot more disastrous for Bunny than it was. But with that being said, I mean, even the initial defense was not bad. Showtime, he brought his Colossus up. He managed to pick everything off. He didn't lose a lot of probes. He didn't really lose a lot of anything, I don't think. He lost a few pylons. I think a gateway might have dropped, but it wasn't terrible. It didn't put him into a terrible spot. The issue just was behind that, you know, Showtime obviously cleaned it up, but he didn't really have anything going on the other side of the map. He didn't have a Warp Prism out, and by the time his Warp Prism did come out, he just got sniped by Vikings. Everything that he tried to do across the map was just eventually shut down. Bunny, yeah, just had the Doom push. He had more army. He realized, hey, I have my +1/1. I have 8 Vikings. I have Ghosts. There's not a lot that Showtime's army can do because I know that his disruptors are now. You know, he kept tabs on the army the entire time because he was constantly pressuring with that small army. He knew that the disruptors weren't out yet, made the push, and got it to work. So now as we go into Death Aura, this map, I feel is a bit more favored for the Protoss. I generally like Protoss on this map just because it's very easy to defend. You have a lot of ramps here to defend as long as you're in position. It's very hard for the Terran to push up that unless he does just have a massive army. And then, of course, the dead space here is just, you can just have an observer here and you can see there's a lot of places to defend. It's very, very good for Protoss usually. And then, of course, pushing across the map, they do have the advantage of these accelerator zones, which allow them to somewhat match the maneuverability of Bio. You know, it's not, of course, going to be 100% because the Bio can use it as well. And just, in general, Terran Bio is meant to just be faster. It's meant to move around the map and be active. Poke around, try and get damage done here and there. So, we'll have to see what Showtime does. It does look like he's just opting for kind of the same opener here. Has his Twilight Council, has the Blink, has a second gate coming on the way. So we should be seeing that Robo Bay dropped fairly soon. And as for Bunny, exact same build as well. And again, these are just the standard builds that you see. These are as textbook as you get if you're looking for a Terran opener and a Protoss opener in TVP. This is what you do. You have the Widowmine drop. The one Hellion is honestly, that's just I think that's just a choice that Bunny likes. You can go for a 3 Widowmine drop. You can go for 3 Hellions. Either way, it's going to pretty much result in the exact same build in the end. You add on the 2 Tech Labs, you get your 2 additional barracks. You have a single gas that goes down here with your engineering bay, and you get your +1. That's just the build. Showtime, and yeah, and on the other side, I was going to say, Showtime, this is also, again, this is the standard build that you look for. If you want a good macro build, this is what you go with. If you could execute this, you can defend most early, like, you know, pressure, small harass attempts in the early game, and it gets you a good defense. 4 Stalkers are out, which means that the Widowmines will unburrow, but yeah, should only get a kill each, and then they will get picked off. So a very nice hold here by Showtime. Reaper and Hellion trying to get in, but yep, Sentry Adept there. I think even a better hold this time for Showtime, actually. He makes sure that that scout doesn't go off. Only the main is seen. And of course his tech, you know, of course Bunny does know what his tech is, but off of this, he's not actually going to Colossus. He's got a Forge coming on the way, and he's getting charged a whole lot sooner. So this is a bit of a mix-up here for Showtime. We should see some extra gates coming down with this a bit fairly soon. But with that being said, this build, yeah, 4 gates going down. I'm not sure how this build matches up against the push that Bunny is going to go for. Again, this push that Bunny's going for is at 645. You have your +1/+1, or not +1/+1. You have your +1 attack. You have your stim. You have your combat shields. You have a bunch of bio. You have Widowmines. This push does fairly good against Zealots. So I like the change up for Showtime. I like the 8-gate Zealot. And of course, this means that he can get a lot of harass done on the other side. He can try and get a lot of damage done to Bunny if he pushes out across the map. These Stalkers just chilling out, trying to catch that Reaper, but won't actually end up doing so. Bunny, no, Bunny's not going to even get in. Yeah, Bunny doesn't really know what's going on, but he does see the Zealots, he does see the Sentries, and that should tip him off. Just seeing that amount of units should let him know that this is probably not Colossus, because that's quite a few gateway units being produced that you normally wouldn't have with this. And let's see, I'm not sure if he's going to decide to go for the drop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bunny's just going to play defensive here. Again, I think this is pretty fine. He's going to push out at the same time as a drop, but as I'm saying that, Zealot attack coming into the main, and this is exactly what SHOWTIME wants to do. He realized that, hey, I was kept in my own half that entire game in game 1. I don't want to deal with that again, man. I don't want to be stuck in my own half. So he goes for the heavy gateways. He's going to be able to get this warp prism out. This means that Bunny can't really easily move across the map. He has to constantly be wary of those warp ends. And yeah, SHOWTIME is much closer in army this time. Also is ahead in workers. 12 up actually is a pretty big difference. Oh, the Widow Mine! Oh, that's a huge hit. The Marine bait gets gets the warp prism. My words are just dying because that's such a big brain play by Bunny. Absolutely massive brain on this man. His head has so many wrinkles. It's absolutely insane. Bunny now gonna also go for Widow Mine drop at the same time. Shouldn't get too much damage done because there's a massive warp in. And actually, yeah, everything's just being picked off. Alright. So yeah, Bunny doesn't get too much damage done there, but this confirms for him that this is mass gateway. Pretty much. That's what that drop does. Even though it doesn't get damage, it just lets him know, hey, this is just all gateway units. There's gonna be not a lot of tech here. There's 2 Immortals out, but it's gonna be Storm, it's gonna be Zealots, and unfortunately for Bunny, now that he's pushing across the map, it's a bit too late. Again, he's a minute behind what the original timing should be. Oh, not again, Bunny. Bunny, come on. At this point, it's not even a surprise. At this point, it's so predictable from Bunny that this is what he's gonna do. Well, let's see. He's gonna scout out that there's an observer. Oh my god, he's going for it. The Stalkers are here, though. Gets the unload for 4 of them. The Blinks won't get rid of the rest, but here's the rest of the Warp-ins. The drop down, most of the Widow Mines got killed. There's so many Zealots here. And yeah, those hits aren't gonna be enough. Gets on out, and that just, yeah, that didn't do anything. Again, this map is really nice for defense as Protoss. You just have you have an observer right here. You have a few Stalkers in place, and Bunny can't really do Bunny things. Went for the Doom drop, did not work out at all. SHOWTIME. Just some really great play this game, some really great defense, and obviously for Bunny, he has his 3rd base, he's getting his ghosts up, but his upgrades are going to be so far behind. I mean, you have +2, +1 on the way for the Protoss, and he's only working on his +1 shields to finish off his level 1 upgrades. This is not a very good spot, and now you have High Templar and Warp Prism. SHOWTIME just really has all the advantages here. I mean, you have a Raven, and of course that anti-armor missile can do a ton of work, but this army just does not stack up. There's so much Protoss here. Feedbacks onto the Raven. The Widow Mines get some good hits, so the Zealots do have to back up, and that's a pretty decent trade. What was looking pretty bad at first is a decent trade now for Bunny, but it's just gonna not gonna really get any better for him. Obviously, he can do some nice micro here. He can pick off Zealots. But at the same time, his 4th is going to be behind. At the same time, again, SHOWTIME's upgrades are better. Nice. Storm drops. Avoids most of the EMPs. Does lose a few. Actually loses all of the High Templar there. A pretty big loss, actually. SHOWTIME, again, I didn't mind the position, but ended up pushing a bit too far there, and means that he loses a lot. Now he just has this small group of Zealots, Stalkers, and Immortals with a few Sentries. But that doesn't really match up against Bio, and now Bunny's army is much bigger. EMP's going down. The force fields actually end up meaning that the Zealots don't get the best connections. The Storm going down is, a much bigger hit than it was at first onto that Bio. SHOWTIME is still trying to force these trades, but it is not gonna work. It's not working out for him. He's been really trying to just get some damage done here to try and catch Bunny out of position. And he did that once, but the Widow Mine hits were really good. Meant that Bunny could clear up the Zealots, could clear up that rest of the army, and allowed his Ghost to come through. That means that SHOWTIME has just kind of had to sit back. We're now on even bases. Bunny is so far ahead in supply. I have no idea what SHOWTIME's going to do from here on out. I mean, he's working on double Colossus, which is really good because there's no Vikings for Bunny. Again, this is Mass Gateway at first, so you don't really go for the Vikings. You just keep going with the Widow Mine production, you get Ghosts out, and that's kind of your answer. So, double Colossus here can get some really good damage done. I mean, and then you also have the upgrade situation, of course, and I don't think that can be overstated. You have +3, +2 for SHOWTIME. He's going to have his +2/+2. Bunny, I think, is he still? Yeah, he's still on 1 engineering bay. Like, Bunny, you can afford 2 engineering bays. You can get your +2/+2. But as it is now, he is just going to be behind. He's, you know, the Protoss is going to have more armor, and pretty soon, if he doesn't attack, you know, fairly soon, they're going to have +3, which means these Colossus are absolutely going to shred, and Bunny can only produce 2 Vikings at a time. This is his starport production. This is his anti-Colossus production. It's 2 Vikings. It's not a lot, and he's probably, he's probably just going to try and go for Liberators instead, because at this point, I think he realizes that he's not going to be able to catch up in Vikings, and at this late in the game, it's probably just better to go for Liberators. With that being said, though, this army can get caught out. Some nice EMPs at first. A Widowmine hit gets canceled. A nice blink on top, and Showtime just manages to push that army back. Bunny has a drop here as well, but is just feeling like he can't really push anywhere, and at this point, I think that's correct. Again, he was pretty far ahead there for a while after Showtime forced the trades. But now you have a very, very large Protoss army that's gotten increasingly better in tech. You know, at first it was just Stalkers, it was Zealots, it was, you know, it wasn't that good. But now you have Colossus mixed in, now you have High Templar mixed in, and this is suddenly a much scarier Protoss death ball. As Showtime, is he just gonna push in here? I don't like that at all. Widowmine does get a good hit, and these ramps, again, they're so hard to push up, and there's so few shields on this whole army. Vikings have been produced. You know, Bunny decided, decided the Vikings were the right choice. Oh my god, that storm softens up all of that bio. He will pick off an Archon here, but as it is, Showtime, he just can't push in. It's funny, because both the players are in the same spot. Showtime can't push Bunny because Bunny just EMPs his whole army, and then the Colossus get killed. And meanwhile, Bunny absolutely can't push Showtime, because if he does, he's just going to get stormed. There's going to be so many ways that he can get flanked, and just when on equal army supplies, if Showtime forces the engage in the middle of the map, he will have the advantage. But yeah, I mean, we're going to the macro game, ladies and gentlemen. These players, they want to go late game. That's absolutely what's going to happen. We're going to get disruptors. We have +3/+3 finishing up soon for Showtime, which is, I mean, as soon as that finishes, he has his +3 weapons. He's already ahead because, he's fighting 2-1 bio with 3-2 Protoss. He's absolutely in a great spot here to trade well, but it's just he can't really push in. Bunny's done a really good job of turtling up. So if Bunny can get his +3 done, if he can get on even upgrades, his position is going to be just that. It's just going to be a whole lot better, because in a straight-up army fight, he doesn't win. Disruptor ball! Oh! It's a huge hit, and a lot of ghosts in that, too. Pretty devastating right there for Bunny, but he does just rebuild both these players, building up a massive bank. Zealot run by. Or sorry, DT run by. It doesn't even get too much done. And now the real question is, what are the transitions here for these players? Bunny obviously got that fusion core, so he's going to be heading into Liberators. And he's going to be trying to get into that late game Ghost Liberator with a bit of bio to really support it. As for Showtime, he's going to start... He's getting his Stargate, but again, he doesn't really have a transition right now. He has Disruptors. He's getting his air upgrades and his shields, because he does have his +3/+3 finished, but he doesn't have a transition just yet. This is his army for now. This is what he's running with, and it's sketchy in a straight-up fight, because of course it all relies on the Disruptor hits. The Disruptors zoning out the bio is such a big part of this fight, because both these players they're pretty much on even, economies. Their tech is pretty close to each other, and it's really just about this upgrade difference, which will be going away soon. Ooh! Colossus might get caught out, but a storm to zone it away. Showtime not going to lose anything, and Bunny going to protect his 5th base here, getting a 6th as well. Both these players just expanding like crazy as... A little cheeky Widowmine here. And you have Showtime just positioning things around, has DTs around the map, just sitting there, Zealots for scouting. He's just warping in DTs here, and he should be able to just cancel, or at least get a lift off on this 6th base while he's trying to push the 5th. And at this point, we're now really looking for... Oh my god, I didn't even realize there were nukes, but... Oh. Never mind, no more nukes. A feedback on the storm does get rid of that ghost, so No nukes just yet, only one at a time. Bunny gonna start experimenting with seeing if he can try and get some damage done here. Try and pick Showtime's attention apart, really force him to pay attention to all sides of the map, because at this point, both players need their entire armies together to try and really fight. They can't afford to split it up as much. DTs force another liftoff. Bunny's gonna split off a small group, but now here's where Showtime can come in. Again, the armies split up. The Liberators have to unsiege. Disruptor balls don't get too much damage done, and the resiege comes through. Storms don't go off because there's massive EMPs. Disruptor hits aren't the best. All the Colossus get cleaned up, and despite the fact that the army was split, and actually Bunny doesn't even clean up the DTs, Showtime can't capitalize. But Showtime is just getting himself into a better spot. He has 8 more gateways going down. Another Stargate. Should be working on a fleet beacon if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it does have the fleet beacon done. Has the shield upgrades coming in again. Showtime just ahead in the upgrade department. Now going to push in, and Bunny reluctant to fight this, and I don't blame him. He doesn't have, you know, a lot of Liberators to work with, only 4, and those can get blinked on. And the ground army as well, I believe, is just slightly bigger for Showtime. He doesn't have a lot of air force, so he can win that straight up fight, but the Liberators moving forward, the Ghost getting some nice EMPs, Immortals can actually fight this pretty decently, so that bio is going to get cleaned up. At the same time, DTs and Stalkers trying to run in here to into the 4th base. They don't get too much done. And that will get cleaned up. Or sorry, the 3rd base of Bunny. But now, oh, Showtime blinks on top. He's going in. Gets the Liberators down. He's going to push in with the Immortals. Showtime trying to make some magic happen here, focusing down the Liberators. Disruptor balls to zone out. He's going to clean those up. Showtime pulls the trigger and gets a pretty decent trade because he has the Warpins. He can immediately reinforce this. He still has Storms on the way, but they immediately get EMP'd. Feedbacks onto the bio. Oh, a massive Disruptor hit. A huge trade there for Showtime. Of course, his army still doesn't win in a straight up fight, but that's absolutely the trade that he needed. Bunny trying to chase this army down. Of course, can do that, but a Storm to zone him out. And Showtime now is going to explode in supply. He is sitting, how many gateways does he have? He has 18 gateways. That's an insane number coming out from Showtime. 18 gateways. Building Disruptor is going to try and jump on this army once again. Now has Tempest in the fight to provide long-range support. And these medevacs are going to slowly start to go down. There are 4 Disruptors here. Oh! Oh my god, those Disruptor hits. And yeah, now the Liberators just get cleaned up. There's not enough bio to straight up fight this army. The Warpins are too much. Showtime has the advantage in army supply. The upgrades are even now, but it might not matter because Showtime has made the money moves. As Zealots get cleaned up, Bunny just trying to reclaim what he can. He's only on 6 bases to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Showtime. Showtime is turtling up. He has shield batteries. He has all of it, and oh no, a few Disruptors get picked off there, and this nuke should land. Not really something that's easy to push. Showtime will just back up. I don't even know if that clips those cannons. It should just, no, it doesn't even clip the cannons. 10 workers going down in the meantime. Dark Templars managed to snipe off a few, and the Liberator had to come in. More nukes being put down, and Showtime? Oh, is he just gonna collapse on this? Yeah, he realizes you don't have a lot of Liberators. Your nuke is elsewhere. Massive Disruptor hits, and this ground army is just too big. The Tempests don't even need to be here. The Disruptors are enough. The bio is gonna fall away. Bunny doesn't have any money left, and there is still plenty of Warpins for Showtime. This is all that's left of Bunny's army. It won't be able to survive. The medevacs are picked off. GG! Showtime takes game number 2. God. These players are so good. I absolutely am loving this. Showtime made some changes there that I really liked. Made the right changes to his game plan. Comes out, goes for the mass gateway instead. And I do, in a straight up fight, the mass gateway isn't as good as the Colossus at defending the actual push that comes out from the Terran. But again, Bunny isn't actually going for that 645 push. Bunny has shown multiple times that he's just trying to get a bit of damage done. He's trying to get his upgrades going and then go into a 3rd base, get some harass, go for a Doom Drop. So in the end, because Bunny doesn't do a straight up push with, 4 Widow Mines with a bunch of bio, the gateway units actually work out well. They are really good at defending on multiple fronts. They are very, very good at defending the Doom drop that was completely shut down. And Showtime comes out, gets a lot of advantages. Again, the upgrades, absolutely massive for Showtime. You can't really afford to not have your upgrades there as the Terran. If you're down, you know, if you're down, what, an attack upgrade and 2 armor upgrades at one point, it's just not going to go well. You're not going to trade too efficiently. And even though Bunny made a lot of it work, it just did not work out in the end. And Showtime, again, he made the moves where he needed to. Felt like it was sketchy for a little bit after some of those trades that he took, but he got it going. He managed to figure it out. We're going to head into game number 3. Decider match here between these two players, Bunny and Showtime. Duking it out. This is such a good series. I'm enjoying it so much. Tied up, though. Let's get right on into the game, ladies and gentlemen. As I should probably turn off edge scrolling. In the bottom left, the Wall defended all of the Bunny shenanigans in that last game, said no to those Doom drops, to those pushes, and then came across the map, and with the aggressive blinks, you know, essence of patience there with those Stalker blinks. It's your blue Protoss. His name is Showtime. And in the top right, your red Terran was, I mean, it wasn't completely shut down that game, but was a little bit reluctant to push with his whole army, and I think that's kind of where a lot of the problems came, is he could have tried to force some engages. His name is Bunny. And now we're into game 3. And, oh, okay. Okay. What? I imagine this is some sort of a proxy of... No. Ooh. What is this build from Bunny? Because this is double gas, and you don't go double gas without some sort of plan to have, like, some very, very aggressive build in mind. I imagine this is going to be a very quick factory. Is this... I'm not sure what that would be used for, though. He's going to go Reaper. He's going to get up... So this is just going to be a much faster factory. This is factory before expansion. This is... Oh, wow. That's SCV actually loses that fight. Yeah, I actually am not sure what this build is going to be from Bunny, because it's obviously some very early aggression. It could be that he's going for some sort of like an early... Could be like an early Hellion drop. Early, you know, Widowmine drop, just try and get a bit more damage. Huh. Is it immediately into the reactor? Is Bunny just going to try and win this game with Hellions? Is that what he's going to try and do? Because that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here from Bunny. With this reactor. And I don't imagine that he's not going to go tanks. You know, he can't go any of those high tier factory units. So I imagine that this has to be... Okay, Widowmine drop. Just a okay, this... Oh, I know what this is. Okay. I was confused at first. This will probably be an armory, if I'm not wrong. And he's going to go for Cloaked Widowmines. At least, I think that's what it should be. I don't know. This is interesting for Bunny. I really love this. Bunny coming into game 3 and just saying, you know what? I'm going to go absolutely YOLO. And... You know, this is Bunny. What else do we expect? Yep, Cloaked Widowmine drop. This is a killer. Like, especially because there's not going to be a lot of detection because Showtime's going a Stargate. He switches it up for once. He's not going with the Twilight into the Robo facility. He's going Stargate, but he does have an Oracle out. Okay. I think Showtime recognizes what this is. I mean, he saw that it was... I don't know, actually, did he see that it was double gas? No, he didn't see that it was double gas, but he saw the early wall off, and he saw that there was going to be no expansion. So... He does, I'm assuming that he does, he's thinking that there's going to be some kind of pressure here. Because just from that information, Showtime should be able to discern that this is something cheesy. There is something going on here that's not quite right. And yeah, this is a 3 Widowmine drop with Cloak. There's only going to be a single Phoenix out. Is that Oracle going across the map? Oh no! Oh no, Showtime! I just threw my mouse across my desk. Oh no. Oh, the Oracle isn't going to be home. This is absolutely perfect for Bunny. This is what he wants. There's no Phoenix in position. There's no Stalkers in the build. Showtime sees the indicator that this is cloaked Widowmine drops, and he... Oh, this is a terrible feeling for Showtime. Because, I mean, you can't clean this up. You have to bring your Oracle back, and he used a Revelation. He already used his Revelation, so he's only going to have one to clean up the main. The one in the natural is still just going to sit there. And only 3 Widowmine, or only 3 probe kills so far, but this just continues to get damage. Showtime has to pull off the mineral patch again. Another Revelation is used. And for Showtime, that just shouldn't have done that much damage. And okay, buddy. Wait. What? What? No. What? That's not okay, right? This isn't okay. Oh my god, I love it. I didn't even notice because I'm worried about the Widowmine drop. There's Thor's! Thor is here! Bunny going for the YOLO all-in off one base. Has another Thor popping with a medevac. I mean, what are you gonna do? What is Showtime gonna do? His gateways are killed. He's getting his shield battery. He's getting... Okay. You have a Void Ray. I still think a Thor beats a Void Ray. Piece of repair. This is insane. What is this? I mean, I don't even know if this beats Showtime. I mean, the Thor's getting focused down, but there's still a repair. Shield batteries aren't up yet. Marines are at least going to kill the natural, and that is enough for Bunny. I mean, you kill the natural here. There's a second Thor! What? What is this? Oh! One of the Thors does get trapped. That's a pretty big move, but there's so many Marines here. Shield battery coming in clutch, getting the massive heal, but the Thor does so much damage. Marines, though, are going to get cleaned up. The other Thor is still in a stasis trap. That Void Ray just in range to survive, just barely. The Thor is trying to do damage. The shield battery is out, though. The Thors are going to slowly go down. The Void Ray is still alive. The push is cool, Bunny, but I don't think it's going to work out. The Thors go down, and that stasis trap might have just saved Showtime. If that was 2 Thors, that Void Ray was dead. The Stalkers were dead. They would get shredded. But he gets off the stasis trap, gets the... Oh my god, keeps the Void Ray alive, just barely. Picks off all the Marines, and now Bunny's in a terrible spot. I mean, what do you have? You have Marines, you have you have a Thor, and a Viking. You don't have a lot here. And yeah, I mean, it's 19 to 47 workers. Yeah, this should just... I mean, Showtime... I think you can just push up the ramp and kill him, but Showtime's gonna take it a bit easy here. He recognizes that he's so far ahead. He doesn't need to do too much here. And for Bunny, I mean... You gotta try and force trades, I guess. I think that's really what you gotta do. I don't think there's any way that you really win this game without picking off some units, because right now Showtime, I mean, the biggest thing here is Bunny didn't focus down the natural base. Oh, it hurts so much. If he had killed that nat, maybe he'd be in a decent spot. Of course, Showtime could retake it. Showtime could retake his natural base and he could be fine. But because that natural is still alive and Showtime is just mining, yeah, Bunny realizes that GG, realizes that he's not going to be able to win that anymore. Oh my.